All right, this example, we're going a little, we're still kind of we've moved into the early 80s,
Yeah.
and I'm using this more as it sounds more like a chorus pedal, even though it is a flanger, because something like Electro-Harmonix Electric Mistress, a little Andy Summers Police vibe.
Mm-hmm.
What Apogee's done here is they have the wide version for the BBD, and what they did was they took the SAD and added more delay length, and possibly maybe it's their take on doing the SAD 1024 instead of the 512. I don't know, but for me it gives me double the delay time, so it gets me almost up into chorus territory. I'm borderline, right? So I'm set this up at around 10 milliseconds, which so still really flange territory.
Yeah.
But I've got on this, because it's really aggressive, like the depth goes really, and maybe because they designed it to be really wacky, but I bring this down to 2% for depth, but a really fast oscillation.
Okay.
So you get that really kind of syrupy shimmer, and it's to give a bit of that chorusy flanger pedal vibe for some kind of Andy Summers type stuff.
So in character, it's very similar to the SAD, if not identical. It's just the delay time.
I think they may have done a little more, but that's my interpretation of it, is that because they talk about it's like a 512 with added stages, I think.
Right.
So, yeah. But for me, you can go really crazy with it if you want. But again, I'm doing stuff that's a bit more in line with stuff like this, like. Maybe that real, okay.
It just gives it so much character, doesn't it? It's a different thing, and there's a delay there, and there's a reverb there.
So to build kind of the whole vibe for it, I put in a couple things going on. So again, being in this reamp kind of mode, you're getting a little extra color because I'm running the flanger and I'm running a delay in front of the amp. So I've studio that bright kind of ping for that shimmer, and again I got to keep the mix way down because it's getting a little extra. I'm not really driving the amp a lot, but it's almost on breakup, and my cleans always have a little breakup in it.
Yeah.
So the delay is a little bit more pronounced. So I've got that going there, and then on the back end I've got Soundscape from Relab, which is a really, really lush reverb. I have it on a bit of a dark plate. I brought the high decay way down. The high decay I think it's a high decay multiplier in this. I'd have to check, but it brings down the sustain of the high end, so it dies quicker. So I've got it dialed way down. Brightness way down. Tilt EQ a little down to soften the high end. And the ensemble, which is, it's modulation. So the ensemble here is pitch and phase modulation to get a really, really lush, syrupy tail. So I crank that up to add to all that modulation. I want it to be really syrupy with a bit of it's a nod to a Lexicon 224 for the output render. It gives a bit of the 224 character. Again, it's not, this is an emulation, it's just kind of a nod to that stuff.
Yeah, right.
But all of this together really sets it in the early 80s, but not quite. Like it's still not as vintage. It still sounds like a modern recording with a tip of the hat, I think.
Yeah.